Hey friends, welcome to a new episode of the Kali Chronicles with me, Kali. Today, we're going to answer the question, is Castlevania Symphony of the Night still the best Metroidvania in 2020? If you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up icon, subscribe, share with your friends, and visit me on social media in the locations in the description below. I hope you guys enjoy this video. It was really fun to make. And with that out of the way, let's go! So we're going to start by talking about the beginning of the series. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is a platform adventure action role-playing game developed and published by Konami in 1997 for the PlayStation. It was directed and produced by Toru Hagihara, with Koji Igarashi acting as assistant director. It is the direct sequel to Castlevania Rondo of Blood, taking place 4 years later, and is the 10th entry into the Castlevania series. It features Dracula's vampire son, Alucard, as the protagonist, rising from his slumber to explore Dracula's castle, which has reappeared after Richter Belmont vanished. It marks a break from previous games in the series, reintroducing the exploration, non-linear level design, and role-playing elements first experimented with in Simon's Quest. Originally, this game was slated for development on the 32X, but it was transformed over to a PlayStation title after a while. So, let's get started into this fantastic game and talk about what makes it so great. So the beginning of the game is fairly straightforward. It's probably the most difficult part of the game up until you beat the doppelganger boss, which you can see on screen now. This boss had always frustrated me every time I've played this game. And no matter how many times I go through it, it just seems that this boss always seems to just annoy me, because your dagger doesn't work well, it's hard to get close. But, you know, this isn't even the first boss, this is the second boss, and that's okay. It's a good lead up. When you get here, it feels very epic, you don't expect it, and that's a really great thing. Obviously this game has a leveling system, which is a huge reason to love it. And when you beat this boss, like any other boss, throughout the beginning of the game, you get a maximum life up, so you get to live longer and take more hits, which is great. So, in the room after this, you get the wonderful Gladius sword, which just extends your reach, makes everything so much easier. So I always say once you get past this, the game really opens up. Now obviously, the librarian sells stuff, and you can sell your things to him. You could buy different potions and different items and weapons and gear and accessories, because this is definitely a side-scrolling action RPG. There are levels, there's gear, there's currency, the stuff you can buy, different cosmetic items, etc. And that's one of the best things about it, is there's so many options for how you can play and the way you can make your character look. So I would highly recommend that you enjoy this part of the game. Take your time, pick the gear that you like. You don't just have to use the same things everyone else does. Obviously the Ring of Pails is a great choice. I love taking that item, so it's generally what I go with when I get the money. The transition screens are really cool between areas, and there's tons of areas that open up later in the game, such as this one here, where that pillar thing just kind of moves down, and it allows you to access places that may have been blocked off before, maybe you couldn't get access to before. So it's really a unique concept. It allows backtracking pretty easily, and it's a huge map. It's a very large area. Now we're going to fast forward a bit. So this is the end of the regular castle. So what happens is you have to get these items to be able to see the real evil, because Richter's, you know, he's not this crazy being that's just gonna overtake the castle all of a sudden. That's not actually what happens. So, to avoid any spoilers, the boss is down there. Here you'll see we have Shaft really running the show. You know, this is where the game really opens up, I say, even more so than after the first boss, because you have basically explored the whole castle, you know everything you could do, all the different forms and stuff you could turn it into, you've got all that, but now you get to go to the reverse side of the castle, so they actually flip the castle upside down and say you're only halfway done. You still have the entire castle that you need to go through again to be able to see everything, which was just amazingly cool to me. When this first happened, when I first beat the game, I was like, oh, you just beat Richter and that's it. No. You have to go through the castle again with even harder bosses, more interesting everything, and it was such a fantastic job. So in the reverse castle, what you have to do is you have to fight lots of bosses. There's tons of bosses in the reverse castle compared to the normal one. And there's 5 specific bosses that you're required to beat to be able to unlock the final boss. Now, this particular boss is the first one that I encountered in the reverse castle, because I was going to go get the greatest weapon in the game. Probably the greatest weapon in any game like this. So the item you pick up there is a ring of Vlad. I was like, oh cool, first time I saw it, new ring. What's the ring do? Wait a minute, it's not a ring? Wait, what is it if it's not a ring? It says Ring of Vlad. Well, turns out it's a relic item, and you have to have all 5 of these treasures to be able to unlock the last boss. So once you get past there, the first thing you should do is go to the reverse library and just find yourself a good spot and kill the schmoes over and over and over until this wonderful weapon called the Chrysogram drops. This weapon makes you a glorified map maker. You can just see here. You literally just run forward, attack everything ultra fast. You become a glorified map maker at this point. I just go find every other spot in the map so you can just explore everything. I gotta say, that's one of my favorite parts about this game is the exploration, all the stuff you can do. There's just so many amazing things that this game has in it. So many unique bosses, unique areas, unique equipment, the familiars, all the items, the leveling. There's just so many things about it that are absolutely incredible. But you need to enjoy that for yourself. And I can't just show you guys everything. We'd be here for hours. If you want to see my full stream, it's on my channel. Go take a look at it. The full playthrough is there. It's about 7 hours worth of video. So, as per my fans' request, we are going to show the final boss in its entirety. So I'll be quiet and let you guys enjoy.
自分の肉体を捨てた者にこの世での居場所などない。貴様の好きな暗黒へ旅立つがいい。だが我が野望は成就した。我が主ドラキュラ伯爵よ、腐りきった世界に破壊と混沌を。
Here we are.
Oh, 誰かと思えば久しいな、我が息子よ。
できるなら会いたくはなかった。こうなった以上、ここから先に行かせるわけにはいかない。
相も変わらず人間どもの味方をしておるのか。よもや奴らがお前の母親にしたことを忘れたわけではあるまいな。
忘れられるものか。だが母は人間への復讐を望んではいなかった。
まだそんな世まいごとを言うか。まあよい。今度こそ下賤な血を消し去り、 我が眷属に加えてやろうぞ。
母の名にかけて。ドラ
And
キュ
here we go.
再びあなたを倒す。あるべきところに帰れ。これ以上母を苦しめるな。
なぜだ。なぜ私はこうも破れる。
力とは守るものがあってこそ限界を超えることができる。愛するものを失い愛することをやめたとき、あなたはすでに負けていた。
そうか、皮肉なものだ。力を求めるがゆえに失ったものが私の敗因であるとはな。アルカードよ、教えてくれ。リサは最後に何と言ったのだ。
人間を恨んではいけない。もし人間が許されない存在であるなら、自ら滅びの道を歩む。その世界の住人にあらざる者は手を下すべきではないと。そして父上、あなたを永遠に愛していると。
リサ、私は間違っていたのか。
And now, this is the greatest game in the Metroidvania style. Is it Castlevania Symphony of the Night? Is it another Castlevania game throughout the entire universe of the series? There's been so many great ones. So is it one of those? Or is it the newer game, Hollow Knight? I know a lot of people love this game. So is that the greatest Metroidvania? Or is it the game that started them all, Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo? Is that the greatest Metroidvania? Well, how about Igarashi's new project, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night? Is that the greatest? Well, of course not, everyone. This is the greatest Metroidvania. That's right, Ori and the Will of the Wisps is one of my favorite games ever created, ever. And definitely my favorite, the best Metroidvania ever made in my opinion. If you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, and check out my other content. Thanks and see you next time.